Welcome to Deep Roots, Open Skies. I'm excited to take you on a journey through the defining moments that shape our lives. Let's embark on this adventure together. I'm your host, Lakisa. On April 25th, 2025, my life changed. This episode is a raw, funny, faithful story about facing a health crisis, leaning on prayer partners, and choosing to speak victory in the middle of a test. For women who carry family, faith, and hopes on their backs, this one's for you. Hey y'all, welcome back to Deep Roots, Open Skies. I'm your host, Lakisa. If this podcast were a Sunday potluck, we'll be the sweet potato pie next to the greens, familiar, soulful, and absolutely necessary. Today's episode is personal, it's vulnerable, it's funny sometimes, and it's faith-forward always. Pull up a chair. April 25th, 2025, mark it. It's the kind of date that doesn't sound like a regular Friday anymore. It sounds like a headline. I remember the sun doing his usual Michigan thing. Not a tropical climate, but she tried. I'm sitting there thinking, okay, Lord, what's the lesson? And then life said, babe, I need you to speak victory. You ever have one of those tests that feels less like a pop quiz and more like finals week for your soul? That was mine. I didn't expect to get the call that would begin a season of appointments, CT scans, prayers, and being asked to explain a word I tried to avoid saying out loud. Cancer. Growing up, my mom had this book on the bookshelf. You know, the aesthetic, soft back cover, slightly sun-faded and wrinkled, titled, Why Do Bad Things Happen to Good People? I'll glance at it like it was a mystery novel. Now here I am, paging through life's questions. I exercise. I eat greens, regular, with a little butter, balance. I go to church. I say my prayers. Yet on April 25th, my chart in my patient portal had a new description called, Why Me? But here's the thing. Asking why me is not a weakness. It's a human footstep in the hallway of grief and confusion. It's also the beginning of a story where the answer doesn't show up in the way we expect. Sometimes the answer shows up as community. Let me tell you about Bevelyn, y'all. Hearing her name is like hearing the chorus of a hymn you love. When I called to update her on my health battle, she literally stopped what she was doing. Like phone in hand, work pause, and I'm hearing her go to a quiet room, like her break room, to pray with me over the phone. Now, do you know what's special? I didn't have to describe a touch. Through the phone, I felt her arms around me, her voice folding into mine. People always talk about spiritual support like it's a nice concept. Bevelyn made it a full contact sport. She sent warm messages, spiritual songs, including my personal anthem, Encourage Yourself by Donald Lawrence, and basically became my portable choir. There's something spiritual about someone who will drop headphones, chin up, and say, girl, we praying now. That's not just friendship. That's ministry in mess. My brother, my best friend, Sean, would send me spirit-filled daily messages with cheerful phone calls on a daily. That would always make my day. My mom, not a spring chicken, as we lovingly say, packed a bag and left Alabama for Michigan, like she was stepping into a mission. When your mama shows up, half the battle's already won. She brought casseroles, Bible verses with notes marked in handwriting, I love you. And that look you get when your child's hurting. Equal parts worry, and determination. My dad, he's been the steady drumbeat, spiritual and emotional support, reminding me daily that God sees me through. He reminded me of scripture like a playlist on repeat, needed, familiar, and oddly comforting. And my husband, y'all, he has been my wheel and rock during my early times. He checked on me, held practical space for the mess of it all. And yes, it reminded me of why I said yes in the first place. There's nothing glamorous about hospital parking lots, but there is romance and loyalty. This is the part where I get real about faith. My personal song, Encourage Yourself, isn't just background noise or music you play while cleaning or something. It's a practice. Sometimes you have to talk victory into existence. You might be in the middle of your test, but you can still declare what you believe. I said out loud, this is not the end of my story. I repeated it like it was a spell, and if it was the best kind. One that conjured community, prayer, and stubborn hope. Listen, affirmations are not magic wands, but they're the drumbeat that we keep when the world's trying to silence us. Saying victory doesn't mean the pain evaporates. It means we refuse to be owned by the pain. We reposition ourselves as the narrator, not the footnote. Y'all, if laughter is medicine, then I overdosed. There are ridiculous things about being sick that you only learn when you live it. Like the joy of discovering hospital gowns are an equal opportunity embarrassment. Yes, it is. Or how every TV in a waiting room seems to auto-tune bad news into background noise. I laugh because if I didn't, I might end up crying on top of the pamphlet book rack. Women, we have this unique comedic timing in crisis, especially as Black women. We say something funny in the middle of a disaster because sometimes humor is the only way we remember we're still here. Support looked like a neighbor dropping off casseroles and bakeries at my door. Warm text messages and weekly check-in calls buzzing through my phone from my caring mother-in-law. Uber Eats gift cards slid into envelopes. Group texts full of prayer times, and people like my father-in-law, for instance, showing up with flowers and warm smiles. But it also looked like the slower things. A friend listening without trying to fix anything. Someone sitting in silence and letting the grief breathe. If you're listening and wondering how to show up for your friend, ask. Bring food. Sit. Pray if they want prayer. And if you're tempted to say the perfect thing, remember, presence beats perfection. Like my friend Janine, who FaceTimed me with love and humor like only she can do. Back to that book on the shelf. Why do bad things happen to good people? I don't have a great answer, but I do have an observation. God doesn't always stop the storm, but He shows up in the boat. He uses people. Imperfect, sometimes awkward, always loving people to demonstrate grace. I believe God. This journey is a testament of that. The folds of support, the whispered prayers, the songs, they're all evidence. Maybe the question isn't, why me? But what now? And now for me looks like reclaiming my story. But I gotta be honest, you can be easily forgotten. You'll be surprised how life keeps moving and even your loved ones aren't as attentive as when they first found out. I get it. People have jobs, kids, bills, lives. Still, it stings when the initial flood of support becomes a trickle and you're left checking your phone like, was I in last week's highlight reel or last month's? It doesn't make you ungrateful. It makes you human. Sometimes family will ask, how are you? And you say, fine, just to skip the conversation. I do it sometimes. Because explaining the bad days takes energy. I don't always have. But there's power in honesty. Try one sentence in an honesty way. Today's tough. Can we reschedule deep talks? Or I need someone to sit with me for 10 minutes. Specific asks get specific help. During this time especially, I want to be catered to. I realize that if you want to be catered to, ask for it, and this sometimes can be hard for me because I don't ask for much out loud anyway. But say, bring my favorite soup on Tuesday, or can you handle errands this weekend? People want to help, but often don't know what help looks like. Give them the to-do. It's okay to be direct. It's also okay to accept that some folks will bail, and that says more about them than it does about you. And pampering isn't selfish. It's survival. A mani, a nap, a playlist of songs that make you feel like you can march into tomorrow. Those are spiritual hygiene. Let someone pamper you just because. Tell your friends and family, if you want to bless me, bring a candle or incense and don't ask questions. Set a date for small comforts and let people show love in low effort, high impact ways. Now, during these times, it's important to set boundaries as well. When well-meaning folk, they overstep, you can say, I appreciate you, but I'm not up for advice. I need presence. Keep a short script ready so you don't have to explain yourself every time. Protecting your energy is not rude, it's necessary. Create a pocket team, one person for prayer, one for logistics, one for laughs. Call her your benevolent, the one who prays on break. Keep a group chat for practicals and one for memes. Let people serve in ways that fit them. And when someone shows up, name it. Thank you for coming. That meant the world. Gratitude keeps the circle spinning. If you're the listener who wants to help someone hurting, don't wait for an invitation. Drop off a meal, send a voice note, show up with silence. Ask, what do you need me to do today? And mean it. And remember, continuing life doesn't mean forgetting. It means making room. So if you've been carrying why me, invite the community in. Call your Vevelin or Janine. Let someone hold your hand while you speak. Don't do pain alone. And if you want to encourage yourself right now, sing a line of Donald Lawrence with me, even if it's off key. Speak victory. This next chapter will be fire, not because nothing painful happened, but because something spiritual was forged in the flames. There's a fierceness that lives inside of surviving. I feel it. I got it. I see it in my praying partners, in my family that rearranged their calendars, and in my husband who's been my steady by making sure the bills are paid. I'm not just surviving medical bills and scans. I'm birthing a chapter of purpose. And y'all, if you're listening, this is your reminder your next chapter can be fierce too. To the Most High, thank you for the hands that held us when we couldn't hold ourselves. Thank you for the friends who pray on break and the moms who travel miles to say, I'm here. Help us to speak victory in the test and help us to be the kind of people who show up for one another. Amen. Thank you for taking this walk with me. If this episode touched you, share it with a sister who needs to hear it. Subscribe to Deep Roots, Open Skies so you don't miss the next chapter. Because trust me, it's getting hot in here. I'm Lakeisha. Until next time, roots deep, skies open. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Deep Roots, Open Skies. Until next time, embrace your journey and keep exploring the possibilities.